A Victorian breastfeeding expert's been taken to Queensland's Civil and Administrative Tribunal after she criticised attempts at breastfeeding by trans women, so biological men. This practice involves biological men who have transitioned, taking hormones to stimulate milk production from an anatomically male breast. In a series of social media posts, Jasmine Sussex claims it's experimental and it's a dangerous fetish. This latest controversy comes after she was sacked by the Australian Breastfeeding Association back in 2021 and came on here on Credlin after she refused to use gender-neutral language like chest feeding rather than breastfeeding. But Ms Sussex has vowed she won't be silenced. I'm delighted to say, the very brave Jasmine joins me now. We were talking in the break, weren't we? I mean, the world is crazy now. Were you surprised that you got this anti-discrimination complaint levelled at you?
I was, just because I have no relationship with this man and he's been campaigning online for years, literally since he transitioned, to normalise this practice of trans women trying to induce lactation. And so it took the Queensland Human Rights Commission a long time to process his complaint. So I thought that he was accepting that there are different views in the community, but obviously not.
I think there's one big view in the community. I mean, most people would think that this is beyond the pale. I suspect in the medical community it's divided. I mean, you're a lactation specialist. How on earth does someone with male breasts lactate for a baby? And what quality of milk is that for an infant?
Yeah, well, we just really don't know. There's a handful of case reports that have been published in really the trans activist medical lobby, so in the endocrinology journals and in the trans health journals. So they really don't tell us anything other than the experience of that individual trans identifying man, you know, and what he claims. They're all self-reports, so no one's had them in a laboratory expressing milk, or, you know, we just don't know.
Would it be the same quality as a woman's milk with colostrum and everything else that comes from that? Is it the same quality of breast milk?
Yeah, it seems very unlikely. You know, men who have disorders of the pituitary glands, the hormone centres that contribute to breastfeeding, can secrete a fluid from their chests, even if they haven't, you know, if they're not trans women. So, you know, we know from that there's some things in that fluid that's similar to mother's milk, but one of the major problems seems to be that they only make starvation quantities of this fluid. And
so it'll be never enough to feed an infant?
No. So, you know, and you also just have to ask, well, why? You know, why do they want to? And should we indulge that kind of selfish desire to use the baby to affirm their gender identity? You know, that's really my concern. I think it's a safeguarding issue. And I also think, you know, I'm sure it's a small group within the trans community who are advocating for this, because everybody loves their children. But, you know, really, we just need to protect the mother-baby dyad. They're the only ones that can, you know, as a natural flow of pregnancy, then they're able to breastfeed, and everybody else really needs to get out of the way.